Junior talks that old hustling talk. I was gonna tell his daddy, but I found out his daddy was a damn hustler.
Listen, get him sexy. Hold on, that's Man Law Violation, ain't it? I'ma chill. Listen, X-Men 97 is doing it for me. It's giving me life. Listen, I know X-Men 97 episode 5 kind of took our hearts out of Dave Chappelle, Blue Streak. I know y'all seen the movie, y'all get the reference. But episode 7, oh, it did the same thing. When we got to see Gambit going to the ground, the funeral service, listen, I was shedding tears. They was gangster tears. I might need to get a couple of tats. Need to get my face hit up like a Subway in Harlem, Lil Weezy style. You know what I'm talking about, Lil Wayne style. You know what I'm talking about? Listen, this episode right here is the show. Matter of fact, listen, this show is not for kids. It is an adult show, even though it is kid themed. It is an adult show. This is a grown up animated soap opera. Like, this is dealing with things that the original X-Men didn't even deal with, like on the depth. Listen, Bo DeMayo, I said it once before, we need to apologize to the brother, bring him in on more projects. Like, this is very grown up. Listen, we got introduced to the real villain of the show, which is Bastion. If you don't know who Bastion is what you get when you take 2 androids and make it into 1 android. Listen, you have Nimrod, who is kind of like the Terminator. He comes from the future, went to the past, had somebody who was supposed to kill Charles Xavier before he formed his X-Men. That way, the Sentinels in the future would never have to deal with the X-Men. It did not work. Then you have Master Mold, which is kind of like, is he like the god of the Sentinels? I don't know. He's something like that. But anyway, he's a giant Sentinel, a giant robot that creates the regular Sentinels out of his body. They didn't defeat the X-Men either. So anyway, Nimrod and Master Mold combined, and they came together to form Bastion, which is an android, like on some psychotic type stuff. He can shapeshift. You don't know who he is. He like T-1000. This is Terminator 2 terminology. You know what I'm talking about if y'all seen it. So the whole time we think it's Sinister the big bad, because they said that this who the big bad is. This how Sinister operate. This how he move. We seen what he did with little Nathan Summers and cloning Jean Grey and all this. We like, Sinister, Sinister cutting up right now. And the whole time it ain't been Sinister. It's been Bastion. And listen, let me tell you where they going. If you don't want the spoilers, turn off now. If you want them, listen to me, because I think I know what's about to happen. Listen, they showed Charles Xavier across the galaxy trying to get married. And then he got the vision where he saw what happened to his X-Men and my X-Men. You know how Charles get down. They just need him to do the old school scream like he used to do. Listen, if you know, you know. But you know Charles is coming back. We saw that Bastion and Sentinel and all of them had the satellite footage, and they seen what was happening with Charles Xavier. We also got to reveal that Magneto is not dead. They captured Magneto, and he's being tortured, and Bastion is using him for a certain reason. If you've read the comics, you know that there's a storyline where Magneto and Xavier were combined, and they created this being called Onslaught, who was evil but had the powers of magnetism, and he had Charles Xavier's telekinesis and psychic abilities. I think this is where they're going with this. This is what they're about to do. Like, listen, this show is going places that the original show never went to in the early 90s. Even the fact that they are referencing things from the early 90s, like that wasn't like 30 or some years ago, is cracking me up. But brother Bo DeMayo, like I said, we need to apologize to him. And like, if you didn't know Bo DeMayo was a brother, you definitely know he was a brother, especially with episode 6 where old girl referenced, was that episode 6 or was that 5? I think it was 6 where Alondria's sister referenced the Milky Way galaxy as the Milky Way ghetto. Like, we in the ghetto, we in the hood. Like, Earth is the ghetto. Like, like, how dare she? How dare they? We are very upscale. I guess not compared to the rest of the Marvel universe, because everybody else is much more advanced and older than us. But listen, we got some people coming up. We on our way up. You know what I'm talking about? We got some stuff that y'all ain't about to be able to deal with in a minute. Soon as the Fantastic Four and the Avengers and everybody get a part of this. Listen, this episode had my boy Captain America in it. Shout out to Cap. Listen, love me some Captain America. My only issue with X-Men 97 is some of the voices I really don't like. I hate Rogue's voice. Whoever is doing Rogue's voice, baby, I apologize, but it just ain't for me. it ain't hitting for me. It just really ain't. It's not doing it for me. But what I did love was that Rogue went off the deep end, because y'all killed Rogue men's. Not her man, but her men's. And yes, I said men's. Men's ain't men's no more. Her men's. And Rogue lost it. Rogue went out there and got the cracking skulls and busting heads. Listen, I think Beast had a reference to Martin Luther King. You know, rioting is, you know, that's the unheard, you know, the poor who are not heard of. That's their way of speaking. You know what I'm saying? Like the mutants feel hurt and attacked, and meanwhile the politicians are trying to do politics and keep it PC and keep everything copacetic and cool and save face, while the mutants like, bro, we've been hurt. Like, you see what they did to this island? How many people that they done unalived, and y'all sit up here trying to keep it cute because y'all don't want to look like y'all on our side. Rogue was like, bump all that. I'm finna get out here. I'm finna get out here. And that's when she ran into that blender, which was Bastion. Put her down one blow. Bastion got on the X-Men top. You know what I'm talking about? Listen, Sinister in the background like, bro, you stupid. Why didn't you just wait? You could have waited. We could have had backup and more options and things like this to turn around the X-Men. Bastion the whole time like, listen, they not even finna really see they not finna see me coming. I got something for them. And I ain't worried about the X-Men. Listen, this show is on some very adult themed stuff. Like, you are really seeing people go off the deep end emotionally. Like this, like I said earlier, like, this is not really for kids. This is a really grown up show. Like, the Cyclops is like this close to being on the bottle. Like, he this close. And Jean Grey, like, her line talking about, oh, I thought me and Madeline might could have been sisters or whatever she said. Like, baby, you lying. You lying. Jean Grey, you're lying. Stop lying. I see it in your eyes. Listen, when that brother was crying because he thought they found Madeline Pryor and it wasn't Madeline Pryor, like, listen, I know she was hurt. And then we get the time traveler here. My boy Cable come back, and for the first time in X-Men history, they go ahead and reveal that Cable's actually Cyclops' son. Like, that's been my biggest thing with Jean Grey. Like, baby, you are a psychic. How did you not ever tell him that Cable is his son? Like, Jean always knew that that was his son. When Scott met his dad, like, his dad kidnapped him, like, Jean knew that was his dad. She didn't tell Scott or his dad. Like, that's always been my issue with her. Her and Xavier both do the same thing. They gonna keep some secrets from me. But finally, we get Cable say, Dad, this ain't no time for no reunion. And then he even tell Jean Grey, like, you ain't her, get out my head. Like, Cable, you still a baby. I don't care if you went to the future and you growed up and now you technically older than both of them. In our time frame, you are a baby. You respect your parent, step parent. Listen, it's complicated, but Cable was out of line. But listen, that's why I said I wasn't too hurt whenever Gambit fell out and we lost Gambit and thought we lost Magneto, because I know it's some time travel going on. I know it can be fixed. If not this season, it'll be next season. But listen, this show with the emotional beats, the places that it's going, we are watching a Dr. Dre beat be made before our eyes. Like, this is animated soap opera that I'm loving right now. I'm really enjoying myself. The emotional depth that is going. Like I said, we saw Rogue really go off the deep end. We see Cyclops right here. We see Wolverine really being the voice of reason and trying to help people. We even saw Beast kind of lose it. Beast even lost it and told somebody else. X-Men 97, episode 7. I'm Ricky Jr. You ain't got to agree with me. Matter of fact, you can say something if you want to. Took my heart again.